Good morning. It is June the 2nd, and my name is Bianca. And this episode is about, well, it's hard to really name it, but it's kind of like an update of what's going on. And I would like to go into a little bit in depth of the Hamilton County Sheriffs, the Cincinnati Police, and their involvement in the human trafficking and tie into why it is so difficult for a victim to call police, because that's the first thing people say, right? Call police. And before 2021, I was one of those people. I said, well, if they're human trafficked, why not call the police? Duh. Well, let's talk about why they can't call the police. If you've listened to some of my other episodes, I still have to make an episode about how me and my daughter were sex trafficked out of the Gamble Nippert YMCA and the reason why it was a murder for hire by several of their employees. But I'd like to go into yesterday, which was June 1st. I go outside for an errand and I come back about 45 minutes later, and there's a notice on my door from the Hamilton County Sheriffs. So there's a case open on me. And, it would be different if I caused trouble, if I did something wrong, if I broke a law, if I was combative, if I was a threat, like a real threat, those are the reasons why you would get a notice. You're doing something wrong. But the reason why I received a notice is because the YMCA is trying to cover up the fact that they worked with Hamilton County judges, lawyers, to forge my signature. So there were judges, there are still judges and lawyers that chose to work with the YMCA to steal money. So they let fraudulent people come into the courthouse, pretend to be me, pretend to know me, sign my signature, all for money. And this was money that I didn't know was left to me. I'm not very close in communication with my family. So something like that could easily happen to a person like me. But people at the YMCA found out I had money somehow. And they began to try to kill me and my family. And the quickest way I guess they thought they were going to do that was by sex trafficking off my family. Anywho, there's a lifeguard there by the name of Zach, and somehow his cartel, and this, which is includes the Cincinnati police, judges, and lawyers, they're currently paying the Anna Louise in. And just like at my prior building, when I got arrested, those people from the YMCA, they were paying men and women to jump on me physically. So much so to the point where I had to physically defend myself. And so let's go into the Cincinnati police and let's go into Hamilton County Sheriffs. And before that happened, I would call the police. I would call the police. Hey, someone's letting their pit bull run up and down in the hallway without a leash. Hey, but this is what the sex traffickers were doing. They get paid to try to keep you in your house so that you can stay on camera for them. Okay? I know this sounds far fetched, but this is what's going on in Cincinnati, Ohio, and in several other places. The type of criminal behavior, the bullying behavior that human traffickers do. Okay? And every time I tried to go outside, they were trying to jump on me. They had men flashing their genital area, like open on erect. They were trying to assault me right in the hallway. That's why I said I had to defend myself. And I called police like 4 times. They had men throwing poop on my door, putting urinating on my door. They were paying them to do this. When I came outside, they were trying to touch me. They were reaching out for me. I had to defend myself. It got to the point where I had to. And that's what they have set up here at the Anna Louise Inn, too. It's the same setup that they have. It's just with mostly women. Okay. So I had to defend myself. And so my point is that you can call the police as a victim as much as you want. The cops are paid not to care. And if you keep calling, they'll come to arrest you. I know that sounds crazy. I know that sounds weird. I know that sounds odd. But yeah, they're paid to arrest the victim. So right then and there, I learned that as a sex traffic victim, you can't call the cops. You can't, because then they'll direct you to a mental health expert. So even if you have valid concerns, the Cincinnati police and sheriffs are paid and bribed to say, are you mentally ill? Do you have a problem? Do you have a history of taking medication? This is their script. I'm serious. If you keep calling and saying, hey, there are people stalking, hey, there are people trying to attack me, or hey, there are people walking up, because it's a program they're running. That's why. So they're going to hit you with that line, are you mentally ill? Are you taking prescription medication? Do you feel okay? Do you feel suicidal? Have you ever had a problem with So right then and there, that lets you know that they are definitely crooked. Because if they won't even listen to what you're saying and they come out with that script like that, that lets you know right there, they're not trying to help you. So that goes for over at the Anna Louise Inn. Several of their female tenants have been trying to routinely, systemically attack me, organize, strategically, covertly. This is what they're getting paid to do over here as well. And I've been trying to steer clear as much as I can, try to be as quiet as I can while trying to find somewhere else to live. But I came from a homeless situation from getting out of jail because of this lifeguard who sexually assaulted my daughter with his group of men and women at the Gamble Nippert YMCA. They have also stolen my identity and also large sums of money. And also my daughter is missing. So they want to cover all this up. So they're doing the same thing. They're paying people to jump on me, make noises, traffic, all sorts of noises and drama. I'm not a drama person. I'm not a very dramatic person. I'm more of an introvert. And they're literally paying these females in this building to come toward me to start drama, to call the police, to call the sheriffs. The sheriffs are already on standby with Beth and Gordon and Evan and several of these employees. So they're waiting for they couldn't wait. I haven't done anything on their property, but yet I got a notice on the door about a complaint. I am going to speak out about the prostitution that's going on at the Anna Louise Inn. I am going to continue to speak out about what happened at the YMCA and why they're currently paying everywhere I live at